up, everyone? I'm Miles G170, and I'm here with the EtoInteract, and we are Joysticks United.
I guess this is the point for joysticks now.
The point. Oh my gosh, I have not done that in way too long. Shocked I don't have dogs bursting through the door yet. I locked them out there, but all you have to do is push and it opens.
And Archer doesn't have a window to look out anymore.
I'd have to lift him up there to look out.
Right.
I have another one over there that's stuffed with stuffed animals. Yeah, it's weird. So both of us are recording in a different spot than anyone's ever seen us.
Yes.
This is weird.
But you know what? It's definitely good for you because you have a new beautiful home that you're living in. And I am in a completely different office.
It's wonderful, though.
It's actually a little more open and brighter colored walls.
It's weird to have this much space. And I know you mentioned it earlier, but now you can see the Pikachu and stuff. And then I still have Gooey back there. All this stuff was in my old office. You just couldn't see it.
It was just because how everything had to be angled in that room because it's so much smaller than the space you're in now.
Yep. And then I had Alistair in there, which he's upstairs on the second floor now. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I feel like I was able to start laundry. It's on the other side of that wall. It's wonderful. You can see my saxophone sticking out.
Yeah.
I'm setting up a little music studio. So over there, I'm going to have a music studio, and eventually you guys will see it on camera because that's where the whiteboard is I'm going to use for some kind of academy.
Oh, nice.
That involves pocket monsters.
I was like, funny enough, you see an acoustic bass that looks like it's coming out of the back of my neck and a little bit of a mandolin.
Nice.
And a piano, but the piano's not mine. The keyboard, I guess.
I'm not allowed to play with that sword when he's around.
Yeah, that is true. He's almost poked out my eye before, but then again, alcohol was involved.
Funny enough, I don't think I'd had any.
No, you were sober.
Clumsy.
You were very sober. I was not.
I'm just clumsy. But yeah, so we have not done this in a while. I have Zeno and Coco planning a different segment episode. I don't know. I gotta talk to them a little bit more.
Yes, I know they're both kind of planning their own stuff. I just don't know what's going to entail as time of this recording.
Yes. So I would say Happy Memorial Day, but I always feel weird when people say Happy Memorial Day because it's not really a happy holiday. But we've kind of co-opted it to be more about cookouts and pool parties than honoring those that we're trying to remember. So however you celebrate Memorial Day, enjoy.
Have a safe Memorial Day.
Have a safe Memorial Day, yes, because I'm planning on releasing this Monday, so this should be out on Memorial Day.
Oh.
Someone might be cutting grass and be like, Joysticks? What?
Wait a minute. You know, I can imagine our good friend Farha, who's one of the people that spoke to us about trying to start this back up. He's probably going to be playing with Lil Kennedy, going out, he's going to mow the grass, looks at Spotify, and he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, where'd this come from? Because really only a handful of people know right now that this is happening.
If you're one of the people that happen to randomly stumble upon us, hi, we're back now. If you're one of our old listeners, hey, how's it going? We missed you.
If you're new, you discovered us. We're two content creators. We have two more part of it. We're very goofy, and we tell a lot of jokes and go through a lot of news and opinions.
Yes.
I think it's important for us to get back to that. So I'm kind of excited. You know, it's nice that our comeback is you and me because it's how it started.
It did start with us, and it definitely started to branch off, and then, you know, life just happens, and it kind of had to take a backseat for a little bit, but now that life is not being as lifey anymore, it's starting to come back to the front seat.
Yep. And this is the first thing I've recorded with my new studio, at least somewhat revealed. It's not done, but because the soda rushes I was doing, I had my green screen. I love that. I'm telling you, this is my favorite thing I've done so far is the green screen. I can just pull.
Yeah, I just love how it's just whoosh.
Yep. Well, it's going to be really funny when I let the dogs in here and they start coming through the green screen and breaking through the universe.
And be like, oh, look, I'm in Green Hill Zone in Sonic. And then all of a sudden, Archer just pokes through.
I would like to play Sonic.
What was that about Sonic?
I would like to play Sonic on stream.
Wasn't that your first game that you streamed was a Sonic game?
Sonic Adventure. I did Sonic Adventure and it was horrible. I had no webcam. I had a headset mic that wasn't even as good as this one. I had nothing. It was just me talking and then Kim randomly giving her 2 cents from the bed because she was playing Pokemon Black at the time.
God,
doing a Nuzlocke.
Pokemon Black.
Yeah, Kim's a beast over there Nuzlocking that game. That's a tough Nuzlocke.
Yeah. I actually did my very first Nuzlocke. It was Sword and Shield.
That's a good one. It's tough. I remember I was trying to do that for a little bit. It's tough because you have the on-field encounters instead of the random encounters, yes. So it makes it a little bit more difficult. And then the wild area makes it a little bit difficult because what I was doing is breaking it up. Like after every gym, I could go back to a different part of the wild area.
Yes.
And go get another Pokemon.
That's essentially how I did. I did a Soul Link with Xenostream.
Wow. How'd that end up going?
It went well. We only lost a couple of Pokemon along the way because it was a 3-way Soul Lock. Our rule was
third.
Goodness. I'm trying to remember what the exact rule was because I know with the regular Soul Link, it's like you can't have the same first type.
Yeah, typing in general, yeah. But I mean, it's loose. You know, it's loose because it's your game. Yeah. It's your game. You're deciding what you want to do.
So we just went with if one person happened to capture a Pokemon, it was locked out of everybody else to get that specific one. But if we both happened to run into that one as our first one, it was like null and void. Nobody could have that mon now.
Ooh, that's tough.
So there was a few where I ran into a Pokemon. I was like, oh, okay, I'll add this to my team. And one of the other players came out, didn't realize how aggressive that Pokemon was to chase you down and got hit by it. And they're like, well, we just lost this one. And pretty much it locked out getting any Pokemon for that entire route was kind of the punishment is like, we couldn't be like shrug. Oh, well, I guess I'll go try to catch a different mon on this route. No, we just locked it out for us.
Who ended up with Drillbur?
Xeno, actually.
Hope I helped him. Hope I helped him.
But I will say, I did not kill any of my Pokemon.
Wow, that is impressive.
I know Xeno killed one of his, and it was simply because he went up against Blipbug, I think is who he went up against. And they used Struggle Bug on him, and he had a Stuffle, and it killed a Stuffle.
Yeah, Stuffle's pretty tough to run until you get to Beware.
And the other person we were playing with killed like 4 of our Pokemon and had to be the point of like, please stop taking these risks. I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Well, that's too dang bad.
You keep digging.
So, obviously, if we're bringing joysticks back, something happened out there that made us start to get a rant going. E, would you like to share?
Oh, gosh. Okay, there's a lot that I could start with because I found 3 that pretty much made me go on my own rants, but I'm going to start with the oldest piece and then we'll work our way to the newest. I figured might be a good way to go down that rabbit hole.
That's good, considering one thing happened while we were planning this.
Yes. So starting with the oldest one, my question starting off for you, Miles, have you ever heard of a game called Ashes of Creation?
Through the controversy.
So for those of you who don't know, who are like me, because I only discovered this probably last week, probably a week and a half ago. Like, it was very, very recent. Ashes of Creation was an MMORPG that was funded via Kickstarter, and it reached like 3.1 million, I believe, when its goal was, I think, 500,000. I might have to double check those numbers, but okay, so it raised $3.27 million, but I don't see on this article what their goal was, but it was like not close to $1 million. Hugely successful. It wanted to be an MMO that brought back an old school take, because, you know, all these new MMORPGs aren't like what they used to be, despite Final Fantasy XIV still being hugely successful while still having a large player base.
To be fair, those are the old school ones now. We're old.
Yes.
Final Fantasy XIV is old now.
Is RuneScape still cool?
RuneScape wasn't cool when RuneScape was cool, and I'm fine with that. I played the crap out of it.
Oh, same. 92 still cool half of 99.
Was it 92 or 93?
I want to say 92, but it could be 93. I could be wrong.
That's still crazy to me, though.
Yes.
I think I got one stat to 99.
I think for me it was woodcutting. I got woodcutting to 99.
I know I got my agility to what I needed for the rope climbing section of the like multi-part quest.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I cannot remember the actual villain that we had to go fight, but I got to like level 50 agility. I said, done. I'm good. I'm out.
I did what I needed to do.
Yeah. I got my magic extremely high, but that kept your combat level so low too if you did too much magic, because it didn't scale your combat level at the same pace as the combat skills.
It didn't, and I remember that when I was a kid playing that, I couldn't wrap my head around why. Like, looking back at it as an adult makes sense now. But we are getting distracted.
We always are.
With Ashes of Creation reaching its $3.27 million stretch goal, I guess, at that point, because they weren't aiming for that. It took some extended time to be an alpha, and the game came out of like a full release much earlier this year, late last year. But if you go onto its Steam page now, game has been taken down. The Steam page is still there. You just can't buy the game, or I don't know if the game had a subscription being an MMORPG, but nothing's there anymore. You can still look at some screenshots. You can see the overwhelming negative reviews people are leaving. You can see people are begging for a refund. And it just seems to be going insane. And it all happened back in February, from my understanding. And I'm going to share with you a picture that I have, because this is a lot of people's first realization of, oh, something is going wrong here. Let me get to our DMs. There you are. Boop. Why is my control key not wanting to work? Hello? There it goes. So the CEO, I believe is what his title was, of Intrepid Studios, who ended up making Ashes of Creation, shared this on Discord, which states, quote, I can make a limited statement in my personal capacity and not on behalf of the company regarding the situation. The situation being that the game is being taken down and that he was facing a lawsuit. Control of the company shifted away from me, and the board began directing actions that I could not ethically agree or carry out. As a result, I chose to resign in protest rather than lend my name or authority to decisions I could not ethically support. Following my resignation, much of the senior leadership team resigned. Following those departures, the board made the decision to issue WARN Act notices and proceeded with mass layoffs. I cannot responsibly speak to further details at this time due to ongoing legal and governance matters. It got up to like a federal lawsuit. What I can say is that the developers and staff acted in good faith and deserved better than the uncertainty they are now facing. I am incredibly dismayed by the situation. Stephen Sheriff. So this is the first thing that I read when I was going down this rabbit hole, was this Discord post. And I was like, oh, okay, this sounds like it's just a bad situation. And then I learned like there was a lawsuit that the board of Intrepid Studios had filed against him. And there was also like a federal lawsuit that was going on as well with like the handling of the Kickstarter money.
Reminds me a lot, and I know I'm kind of jumping the gun here a little bit, but it reminds me a lot of not the current Subnautica 2 drama, but Subnautica 2 drama from last year revolving around the release date of the game, where it was creator against board in that situation as well, where you had two conflicting stories coming out, and honestly, they all kind of sound crappy.
Yes, like no matter which side was in the wrong, they both sounded really bad.
And it's the danger of kickstarting games like this. Games that are too, what was it, Mighty Number 9. It was too ambitious. And I'm trying to think of the right way to say things because I don't want to offend people. But I've been noticing a lot lately. This is another tangent we'll get down here in a second. But YouTube taking down the AI channels. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of people on the partnered Reddit, the partnered YouTube subreddit, coming in there. Oh, they deleted my channel. I don't know what I did wrong. Look, a lot of these companies that are doing Kickstarters for their games know what they're doing wrong. A lot of these people making AI channels know what they're doing wrong. The problem is we keep feeding them. I am so sick of games. Is Palworld still in early access, or is Palworld finally released?
I can double check, but I think it's still listed as early access. Let's see.
I'm so tired of these games that we're paying for, whether it's through Kickstarter, whether it's through anything else, but they're not coming out.
It is still listed as early access.
And they're coming out and they're a mess. You know, ones they're releasing. We've lost the plot when it comes to game development. You know, you either have a GTA 6 that takes 8 million years to come out, kind of like Duke Nukem, kind of like some of these other games that, Silk Song was great, but I'm going to throw Silk Song into that too, because it took so long to come out. Or you have these games that are rushed to release, and then they're just not good, like all the new Call of Duties. Call of Duty was great back when it took a couple of years between games.
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon. Oh my gosh, I miss waiting for Pokemon games.
The hype was real back then.
Oh my gosh, the gap between red and blue to gold and silver felt so long, even with yellow in the mix there. The gap between gold and silver to ruby and sapphire, all those games. Oh, I remember the hype started to die down around Gen 4 and kind of picked back up around Gen 6, but like I liked that there was time between these games. Now we're just getting this slop out there because people are releasing games that aren't ready to release. Or they're being too ambitious, you know. I can't keep saying everything I want to say because we're going to come up on it. We're going to talk about Destiny 2.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about it. And I have a lot to say about that one. But, you know, you get these things where it's too ambitious, it's too much, and you can't deliver. And now you are sitting there, I don't know why everyone's mad at me. I just tried to give you a good game. You overpromised, underdelivered. Kind of feels like Fable. Fable 3 felt that way to me at first. Overpromised, underdelivered. And that's what it feels like this game did. And then I'm curious as to what the lawsuit is with the sounds like misappropriation of funds.
We're going to get to that here in just a second, actually. So there is a YouTuber by the name of, I'm probably going to mispronounce this. Apologies if I do. NephesQS. But because some of these court records became public, this gentleman, we'll call him Mr. QS because I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the first part right, but QS reached out to some of the people at Intrepid. He started looking at these reports, and his claims are that Steven, who we mentioned earlier, the CEO who stepped away from Intrepid Studios, was living a, quote, lavish lifestyle. According to him, he spent $220,000 on DoorDash alone, which those fees, am I right?
Yeah, that's just 2 orders.
Yeah, that seems about average for DoorDash.
Watch it, DoorDash is going to come for us. They'll get lost along the way and have 3 stops before they get to us.
And then we'll have to deal with that customer support AI.
Yeah.
Spent almost $49,000 on antique curios, which I'm not sure what
is he a boomer?
Maybe. I'm not really too sure what these antique curios could be, but that's how it's listed. Spent around $21,000 on a personal chef for him and his husband. His husband is also a part of the lawsuit. Spent $8,717 on plants. I guess getting a lot of house plants or something. Maybe. I really do not know what kind of plants this couple was buying. Spent $16,000 on movie tickets. We
already wasted that joke on DoorDash, though. Yeah. Dang.
Spent $595,000 on Amazon orders. $21,000 on Magic the Gathering cards. $2,200 on hot dogs. And reportedly, this is the weirdest part to me, gave $81,000 to a company called Gore Oil. Which that company appears to own the mansion that Steve Sheriff and his husband lived in, which cost like $4.9 million that they bought 6 years ago, which was like 3 years after the Kickstarter was successful. And again, these are his claims. These are all part of the public records, because Steven has come out to say that he believes this is a part of a coordinated attack against him. And this is all up for all the different courts to rule as true or as false. I am not trying to say that this is 100% confirmed evidence, because again, it's a YouTuber who took public records and reached out to people and said, this is what Steven was using all this money for. And this is part of the lawsuit.
So let's look at this from both sides here. Saying all this is true, dude's a scumbag for stealing everyone's money. That's what he did. He stole the money.
Yeah.
If these allegations are true, which in court, these should be pretty easily to verify, especially stuff like the DoorDash ones and all that. That should be pretty easily verifiable. There will be a paper trail. And with one of the payments going to your essentially mortgage company, in essence, yeah, that's easily verifiable in the court. However, if these allegations are false and it is a coordinated attack, dear Lord, what an evil company this is. For him to say, hey, they were doing some things I didn't agree with, and them to try to tear his life down. And it sounds like if it is false, half the stuff won't stick, but how bad's it going to bankrupt you while you're having to fight it with legal fees and things like that? Like, what a disgusting, disgusting situation we're starting with. And in the end, you know who really, really loses is the people that believed in and bought into what this game was going to do. Because you know, to raise that much money, there were people dropping thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars into this game, hoping to reclaim what they thought they had back with EverQuest and stuff like that. Disgusting.
So I have learned, like right before we were starting recording, I came across an article which has another Discord message from Steven that was posted about 3 weeks ago. Which, remember, a lot of this started back in February. So this came about
End of April.
End of April, beginning of this month-ish. So the lawsuit that the board of Intrepid had against him was dropped without prejudice. Or, I'm sorry, dismissed without prejudice is the exact term used. Essentially, like, the bullet points that I have from this article is the board dropped the lawsuit. Steven asked the court to, quote, sunlight on the board's actual actions. The Ashes of Creation lawsuit dropped, like, some new evidence and allegations against the board. And there was like vows that we need to still finish the game for the gamers. And there's also supposed to be like an effort to litigate the dispute to put it into the public domain so that people can come in and help and work as they want. It's kind of wild. So it seems like there's this push to try to finish and actually make this game. But there's also still like we also got to prove who's really in the wrong here kind of going on. And yeah, Steven Sheriff has like said that he wants all the records to be put out there and to the public because he's trying to like clear his name of everything. Because not to quote a particular YouTuber who got canceled and tried to come back, but he has the receipts.
That could be so many of them now.
Yeah. Right?
That could be so many of them.
But I guess like they also talked about patch notes that were put out for the game, like towards the end, that were super, super vague. And that part really didn't make sense in the article at all because it just kind of feels like, I don't know, it was put out, but nobody really understands it.
It's probably where they started putting in things to collect user data.
Most likely.
I'm getting the vibe that that's what was unethical that he didn't want to do, and that's why he's trying to make it all go public. I'm betting they were trying to collect user data and sell it without a disclosure.
Well, speaking of stuff that you really don't want to go public, Miles, if you ever boot something up and you get that end user license agreement, do you actually read that crap?
You know what's funny? When I was younger, no. Ever since I've started streaming, I actually go through it pretty carefully now. And there's a reason for that.
I'll glance through an end user license agreement, and if something like really sticks out to me, I'll stop and like read that section. But I don't like fully go in with like notes and try to understand the whole thing. But I'm pretty sure you know where this next part's going.
Y'all, if you're going to create content, watch what games you're picking.
So this whole drama started, what was it, last year?
Last year.
And it's just an absolute mess. So we have a publisher, Crafton, who's widely known for publishing the game PUBG. Like, that was their big bread and butter, the thing that really started the Battle Royale, despite, it being a Hunger Games mod first in Minecraft. And the genre is based on a movie called Battle Royale. But that's beside the point. It's the thing that started the genre, darn it. And Crafton Inc. probably forgot about that legacy because nobody remembers what PUBG is anymore because Fortnite's a shell of itself.
Jordy Football will never forget PUBG, okay?
Jordy Football probably still, to this day, lives in PUBG against all those sweaty bots.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many people actually still play PUBG. And if you're one of those people that still play PUBG, I'm so sorry for taking a shot at you. But,
kudos for sticking it out.
Yes. The game developer Unknown Worlds has been in this absolute pit of despair with everything that's been going on. For those who are unaware, Unknown Worlds are the development team behind the widely successful Subnautica video game. And, when it got so big, they announced like a little spin-off that they did that wasn't quite the sequel, but it was something to like just hold some fans over. It was like some frozen terrain kind of Subnautica game that didn't really have much fanfare from my understanding. But very recently, we had Subnautica 2, which was supposed to be this huge, large improvement. It had multiplayer, which people were begging for. But last year, when it was still in the trying to clean everything up, make it all spit polished, Crafton came in and like laid off, the 3 lead developers of the project? And
plus a few others.
Really when people started to take notice because Unknown Worlds were promised a very nice bonus if they were to release the game on time and meet sales expectations, which it is, or was, I should say at this time, Steam's most wishlisted game. So there was hype behind it.
Oh my god, Techie. I didn't even see Sir Techie streaming for a long time, and then the moment Subnautica 2 drops out, I get an alert, and it's just Sir Techie going live. It's finally out! Like, it's crazy.
And there was, of course, a lawsuit against Crafton by the people who were laid off. And that's kind of when this whole, like, he said, she said thing started. And I don't remember what the full thing was for either side, but I remember Crafton was trying to be like, oh, well, these developers were, like, pulling team members aside and they were trying to start making AI-based movies, which I guess partially was confirmed by some members of Unknown Worlds. But then we also learned in that lawsuit that the CEO of Crafton was using ChatGPT to get legal advice and find ways to not have to pay the team their bonus. And it's genuinely insane, which, by the way, did you know that if you upload anything to ChatGPT, like any record about yourself, it is now considered public information? So,
because we are the training models for AI. So, I'm sure some of you guys are quick to try to go delete your conversation logs. It's there. They have it. It's there forever.
So if you've been chatting with ChatGPT or whatever AI model and you said some things that probably you wouldn't like to be said about you in court, probably shouldn't be saying it to AI.
It still is wild to me. We're going to get back to the game, obviously, but AI is such a thing that we have to address now. I use AI. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I don't use AI. I use AI for my schoolwork. Hey, read this and make sure I didn't do something stupid.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a proofreader. I don't have anyone I can just give this to say, proofread this for me. So I throw it through AI, and it's like, hey, did you mean to say and twice? No, I didn't. Thank you, AI. AI is fine if you are using it for the correct purposes. I was talking to Adam yesterday. If y'all don't know Adam, he did my channel art. He did E's old channel art.
Yep.
He's done a lot of stuff. He did Coco's. And did he do Game Boat?
He did, yes.
He did Game Boat. So we were talking the other day, and I'm like, I like AI for art in the sense of if I need something, I can go to Chat or Copilot or whatever and say, hey, here's what I'm thinking. Can you make me a sketch of this? And I can take that sketch to Adam and be like, hey, make this but real. Like, this is my idea. And then I give it to an actual graphic designer to make it instead of just posting. I saw a poster the other day from my gutter cleaning company out near my house. And it was like that very clearly AI, looks like that Kroger weird, distorted, cartoony character. And I'm like, guess who I won't be calling? Like, dude, I get that you're on a budget and you can't afford graphic artists, but guess what? You're on a budget and you can't afford a graphic artist. That doesn't mean use AI.
Like, go on to Canvas and just like make your own little font thing for free. Like, granted, I know Canvas is also trying to push an AI helper, but like, if you can't afford it, go a cheap route and just make it your own thing. Don't tell a computer to do it. Also, if you believe you're an AI artist, you're not an artist. You're technically an art director, but even then, you're not a very good art director because you didn't make the art. Something else did. You're just making the changes by telling it what to do.
It's something I'm sure Coco will have more about to say, but like all the people entering the field saying that they have experience coding and their experience coding is asking ChatGPT to generate a code for them. I can't even get it on my freaking discussion boards for school. I've told my professors every class I'm not responding to AI responses.
Yeah.
Like I'm not talking to a bot. And all of them have been like, okay, well tell us what your problem is. I don't want to respond to AI.
Yeah.
And they've all been cool with it, but like, no, I'm not responding to your bot.
Like the whole AI thing is just such an absolute headache in every facet of light right now. And
go on.
Oh no, I don't even know where to go from there other than just like it's dumb.
Well, we're going to come back to AI here in a minute because I have a prompt for E about AI.
All right.
So we'll come back to it. But going back to Subnautica 2, there's more drama on top of that.
Oh, there is. The game came out, widely successful sales. People started playing it. One of the biggest complaints that I heard is they took away your knife. You can't really fight the fish anymore, or really like
no genocide, no fish genocide.
But that's not really the drama. The drama is some of the people actually read the end user license agreement that Crafton wants you to click on, and you can't read the end user license agreement unless you buy the game, which I'm not buying the game, so I haven't read it, but other people have kind of put out a little nice Cliff Notes version, which, I don't know, am I showing my age with Cliff Notes? Is Cliff Notes still a thing?
I saw some for sale at half price books.
So I'll take it as it's still around. People probably know what Cliff Notes are. And it's crazy. And it's understandable why people are getting heated about this end user license agreement. Because the very first thing that you see is you get a license to the game. You did not buy the game. You basically are renting the game. And you can hold on to it for as long as Crafton thinks that you're allowed to hold on to it, and they can take that away without any warning, according to their end user license agreement. You also can't publish any recordings, screenshots, or even stream the game with some kind of disclaimer that it's not been supported by Crafton Incorporated. And I guess we don't have to put up a disclaimer because this is mainly verbal, unless somewhere around us has been edited Subnautica 2 footage.
We did not agree to the end user license agreement.
Oh, that is true.
We're not liable to it, and I will not agree to it.
Okay,
go on.
You can't use a VPN while you're playing the game. You cannot stream it on paid platforms, which I'm assuming probably means something like Patreon or what's the thing YouTube has where you can stream just to your members?
Just members only.
Oh, members only. And what were some other weird things that I read in this? Oh, you can't exploit bugs. You're not allowed to exploit any bugs in this game, an early access game. Which, there's bound to be. You also can't mod the game. You're not allowed to mod the game.
Meanwhile, Bethesda's over here, hold my beer.
Right. What do you mean?
Actually, it's
don't
more like
exploit
hold my beer because it's all jank.
They're like
the guy's arms twisted upside down, holding a beer upright though.
And somehow his waist is going through the wall. He's entirely clipped through.
While you're riding a horse straight up a vertical cliff.
But there was one part for me that kind of bothered me. And it's specifically a line that said, you are not allowed to take actions that go against social norms. Which,
who defines social norms?
Yeah, I was going to say, because social norms is going to vary from culture to culture. What's your version of social norms? Oh, also, you can't name anything.
Party.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say social norms are going to vary from political party to political party.
Big time.
Look, if I want to kiss the homies, I'm going to kiss the homies.
Oh, ain't nothing stopping me from kissing the homies.
All right, go on with your next thought.
You can't have any indecent nicknames that have, quote, negative associations. I don't know if that means I can't play if I had the game and I called myself Death Killer or something. Is that a negative association? Or would that be positive because I'm killing death?
Death is a natural force, not a good or a bad guy.
Yeah.
I had this conversation with Adam the other day that I don't like death being portrayed as a villain. It's kind of funny. Just topical. So, okay. Subnautica's success is owed very, very highly to Twitch and YouTube and streamers.
Yes.
Very highly. No, it's a game where you crash land in an ocean world and try to survive. That's broad strokes. That's the premise. I've played it. It's way cooler than that, but that's the premise.
Yeah.
That's not a game most people are going to just pick up and buy. But you watch a streamer running it from one of the Leviathans, or you watch them crafting, fish into these air pockets and stuff. It's pretty cool. And I've seen more and more companies, developers go anti-Twitch, anti-YouTube, anti-content creators. Some are probably right for doing it, some are wrong. But in general, gaming doesn't exist without your gamers. And I can't tell you the last time I saw a commercial for anything but Nintendo or Call of Duty on TV. And people don't watch stuff with ads anymore.
Nope.
They ad block YouTube even though they're not supposed to. They buy the ad-free versions of all the streaming services. You're not advertising the same way to people anymore. You're advertising through free advertising with your game. Oh my gosh. You're not having to pay a penny to have, freaking Markiplier play FNAF. Oh my, or Jacksepticeye or any of that. That's free advertising. That's free. Marketing people. Go to your CEO who is telling you not to allow stuff on social media and just shake them until their brain falls out because it's free marketing. You can't pay for marketing this good for someone to be playing a game, post clips of it, and if it's a big creator, copycats taking the clips and making them into YouTube shorts and TikTok shorts and posting them by the thousands. You're getting millions of eyes on your product for free, and you're going to put out a predatory license agreement. Are you kidding me? Okay. Disney Dreamlight Valley. I understand the end user license agreement on there because you have a lot of copyrights to play with that aren't all necessarily Disney's.
Oh, yeah.
Same with Fortnite. You have a lot of different companies you're working around. I get that. I understand that. I understand, I know E doesn't like this. Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft all having it for their consoles of, hey, don't mod our consoles. Don't do it because that's their proprietary hardware and their proprietary software. I get that more. But like if Nintendo came out tomorrow and said, "Hey Miles, you can't stream Mario Maker anymore." The heck I can't. I guess I'm going to find a new game then. And I'm not going to buy more of that product. Like any interest I had in Subnautica 2 died with that because I'm not buying it to play for myself personal. I'd be buying it to play for you all. And if I can't play it for you all safely, it's what happened with that freaking Avengers game. Man, I loved that game. It was so much fun playing it. I had a blast recording that. And then half of its copyright hit as soon as I post it. Where's the fun? Where's the point? Lego Star Wars, same issue. You can't even use half the music in the game, so that defeats half the purpose. It's just, y'all are about to get your first one of the new season. Developers, be better. Just be better. Remember why you want to make games. I've been digging so much into the Golden Circle for the past several years, and that's really taking effect in my life now. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Why did you start making games? Like, okay, the previous conversation we had about the Ashes game, they did crappy things, but their why was to make an old school MMORPG to relive that joy. It sounds like the developers of Subnautica were making the game because they wanted to make a game for people to enjoy. CEOs come in and decide, oh, well, I just want to make more money from this. Screw you all. Screw that and screw your private equity firms. Sorry, I'm good.
It's all good.
I'm
no,
good.
I am 100% on board with what you're saying. And it's just, I believe that a lot of the developers, the ones who are actually sitting at a desk, designing the things, trying to create the codes, I believe those people, their best interest at heart is, I want to make this art form that's going to be enjoyable. And then it's the people who are much higher up on the food chain of things, they just want more money. They do not care, and they will try to find any way to legally screw over the consumer just to get more money. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of the things that's in Subnautica 2's end user license agreement wouldn't even be applicable under California law. Like a lot of that stuff.
I don't think it is. But yeah, like it's just ridiculous that it's not just this game that feels like this is happening with. I feel like I see all kinds of different deals where creators are having to stop playing a game they're enjoying because they're getting hit with mass copyright strikes. But it's free advertising. It's free. What are you smoking?
And to hop on that a little bit, I know it happened years ago, but I have like a faint memory of Nintendo kind of having beef with YouTubers, like recording content of Nintendo properties. I don't remember what the full picture was, but I figured you're probably more in the know about that.
So part of it was YouTubers playing modified Nintendo games, or very clearly using emulated games like ROMs without owning the physical game. Nintendo has made it next to impossible to play certain games currently. Like, I can't play the original Power Rangers game from the Super Nintendo anymore. I have a Super Nintendo, I have that game. It doesn't hook up to modern TVs that way. Like, it just doesn't work. And they have not released a version of it since. Now, I still own the game, so technically I'm allowed to have a ROM copy, but if I went out to go find that game now, yeah, right. Like, I'd be able to find it. And if I could find it, I wouldn't be able to afford it. So that was one part of the problem. There was also the issue where they were pulling or mass copyright striking people playing Nintendo music in their videos or just having straight up Nintendo music on YouTube. And everyone was like, oh, well, they've let us get away with this for years. Why are they taking it away now? Because they're releasing the Nintendo Music app. And it came out like right after. So they were like, you know what? No, you have to listen to it on our app. So we can sell your data, not Google.
Yes.
Because that's all it was, because it's free. At least I guess it's free. I have the Nintendo Online subscription, so I think all my stuff's included, but still. And I know, what was the other Nintendo issue that just came out? Oh, okay. The guy that made the Pokemon Safari type videos, the Pokemon Nat Geo channel.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's up in arms about that one, especially the people that were already mad about Power World, which Power World ripped off Pokemon. I don't know what you want me to say. When the game first came out, we all said that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Then the lawsuit comes out and everyone's like, hey! They sued for the wrong thing, but still, moving on. The guy that was making those videos started selling, I don't know exactly what, but something that infringed on the copyright on his Patreon. It was one thing when he was making YouTube videos with it and doing it. And then everyone was like, well, he made them. Yeah, he made them, but he's using Pokemon's product to make. So I'm not saying Pokemon was right or wrong in all of these situations. I would say it's a little bit of gray area on both sides. But it was messy for a while. And streaming Nintendo can be risky. Anything Nintendo can be risky. They pulled a bunch of Mario Maker levels for having, like, I know some hashtag DGR is one of the biggest ones that gets pulled because their level's made for a big creator DGR, and they say, oh, well, that's self-promotion, even though they're promoting someone else, but they don't want that in their title descriptions. They want you just talking about the level. You can't promote anything, just talk about the level. But Mario Maker's staying power, the reason it still has a big fan base, is because guys like DGR play the game. Again, it's free marketing. Stop. All right, I'm good. Good.
All right. Let's move on to our last bit that I know Miles has more than up.
Let's save that one for the very end.
Right.
I got one for you.
All right.
So I don't know if you've been noticing on YouTube lately. Have you noticed you've been seeing less AI videos?
I have, actually.
YouTube has done a massive purge of AI videos. And I can tell you, I've noticed a huge difference on my shorts page more than anything. But it's so funny. I'm on the partnered YouTube subreddit, and I can't tell you, there's not a day that goes by without someone coming in there. YouTube terminated my channel and said I can't appeal. They said it was for inauthentic content. I think my favorite one I've been reading about was this guy who was like, well, I edit the videos myself. Okay, but you used AI to generate your animations. You used AI to do your voiceover. You used AI to do all your descriptions and subtitles and everything. But you put it together like a puzzle in there. I edit. I know editing's not easy. But nothing he was doing, he wasn't like adding any transitions or anything. He wasn't manually adding subtitles. He had a file from ChatGPT that he put in there. And then goes on to cry about how we're just haters. And it's so funny. One of them, I think he had 6 YouTube channels all get terminated. It's like, why you need 6 YouTube channels, buddy?
Yeah.
So it's people that were circumventing the rules, and I think it's beautiful. I love it. Now, I'm sure there are some people that got hit by it that shouldn't have gotten hit with it, but that there is an appeals process. It's just lengthy. But I'd say every one of the ones I've seen on that subreddit that come in and complain, we go look at their channel and you knew what you were doing.
Oh, 100%.
You knew what you were doing. Yeah, they're the same as the AI artists going in there complaining, well, I had to put it all together. Cool. Why don't you like reach out to someone making content that needs an editor and work for them instead of, like, I hate to say it this way. Okay, I can't draw. I always have great ideas for what I'd want to draw. I can't draw. I have to outsource my drawing if I want to have something drawn. I'm sorry. Not everybody is made for Twitch or YouTube or TikTok. I'm not made for TikTok. I tried. TikTok was not my platform. Not everybody's made for it. I'm sorry, if you can't make your own content, it's probably not for you. And it's sad, but I mean, like, that's any job you look to get in the future. Not everybody can look at a string of numbers and understand coding. Not everybody can stand in a classroom while they're being screamed at by, I would say 30, but I feel like it's not even 30 anymore. Let's say 35 to 40 screaming teenagers, all trying to say 6'7", 6'7". I don't know. I'm old. I don't know these things anymore. But
my Chromebook's
not everybody's
dead.
Yeah. I didn't do my homework because I left my Chromebook at school.
No, I totally turned that in.
Yeah, like, not everybody's made for those careers. You have to find what you're good at. I was talking to one of my long-term viewers the other day, and it's in my Discord. It's he asked if he could start using my outro in his TikToks.
Oh, that's right. I remember him asking, and your reply was like, essentially, what you do, you, but
yeah, do what you're gonna do. I'm not gonna sit here and say you can't say it, but like, part of what makes me work on YouTube and Twitch is that I'm authentic. That outro grew from me and E talking and me getting upset about
phallic Lego images.
Dimensions. Yeah, Lego Dimensions. We got upset about. I got upset about that. It was born from that and became kind of my rallying cry. And I know anyone wants to spread positivity. It's like, Matt Pat with that's just a theory, a game theory. Great freaking outro. Great outro. But it's him. And every creator, every profession you do, you need to find your voice. Not my voice, not E's voice, not Coco's voice, your voice. You need to figure out who you are as a creator, who you are as an employee, who you are as an employer, who you are as a student, any of that. Be you, because you're great. That's a blanket statement here. You are great. You have to find a way to show people your greatness. So be authentic. If you're going to make YouTube videos, even if they suck, half of mine do, if not more, but they're mine, and I made them, and they're fun. Just be you. Be who you want to be, and be who you are. Don't try to be anyone else. Sorry, I wanted to get that part out.
Oh, no, you're fine. Actually, it's funny that you say, like, be authentic. Put something out there that's you. Do something that's you, and saying, like, oh, some people are meant to be YouTubers. They're not meant to be Twitch streamers, et cetera, et cetera. And I know there's definitely that want. There's definitely that drive, right? Like, everybody would like to be able to create art, but it takes time, it takes effort, and some people are either A, not willing to put in the time or effort, or B, just don't have the time to put in, or don't have the drive to put it in. And then AI comes out, and it's kind of sold to us, I guess, as this unique cure-all for this handicap that all humans can have, and we can just use AI to fix things. We can use it to make art for us now. We can use it to make music, and et cetera, et cetera. I love playing music. I mean, you can see some of the instruments behind me. I love learning new things. I like the challenge. And the one thing that I learned while I was an educator is people don't understand that a challenge is meant to help you grow and to learn. We've now, as a society, I guess is the best way to put it, as humanity, now look as a challenge, and we're frustrated by it and would rather have it just get solved so we can continue doing the easy stuff. And as, again, somebody who worked in education, that scares me, because how is anybody going to learn if they can't overcome a challenge for themselves?
And I see it in the workforce already. I see it. I work at a college university. I see it. They park at a spot that's marked handicap, and then they're surprised when they come out and have a boot on their car and we're getting ready to tow it. Well, I was just there for 5 minutes. Do you have a handicap placard? Is this where you're supposed to park? And then they break down and they just immediately shut down.
Yeah, because they don't know what else to do.
There's so little self-regulation and self-reflection nowadays. It's staggering how many, not just students, but how many people in general can't accept they can't do some things. Like, there's stuff you can't do, guys. It doesn't make you a failure. You're just meant for something different.
Yep.
Like, and if you're using AI and you're like, hey, look how creative I am, where do you think the AI got it from?
They had
it didn't just pull it out of thin air. It's taking other people's works and combining them into something new, which the AI might be creative in doing that, but sorry, you're not. You can use AI as a brainstorming device. You can use AI as a jumping off point. If you're submitting something, whether it's school, whether it's YouTube video, TikTok, poetry, whatever, music, as AI, and then claiming you made it, no, you didn't.
Yep.
You typed in the keyboard.
You were the prompter. That's all that is to that argument. You didn't create it. The idea may have sprung in your head, but you're not the one who brought it to life, essentially. That's kind of like, I'm fine with using AI as a tool. I don't like using AI as a handicap, essentially. Like, well, I can't do XYZ, so I'm just going to have AI do it for me. You can write an essay. You don't need AI to write it for you. There's so many helpful tools and stuff out there that can help you create something. I don't understand why you would just want to pass it off and then not be able to do it or even help yourself. Like, what is this learned helplessness that's going on?
And then get mad when you get caught. That's my favorite part, is the ones that get mad when they get caught using AI or taking those shortcuts. Like, I want to find out what happened to the kid that has degree revoked when he was showing his entire ChatGPT.
Yeah, I heard about that.
At either UCLA or USC. I want to hear how that ended up going, because, like,
probably not well.
Here's the thing: is you have teachers using it too, though. I've definitely seen some lesson plans out there that are full AI, and y'all, just stop. Just stop. I don't know why it's so hard to be authentic.
But
I don't know.
To hop off of that being authentic thing, before we were starting to record this podcast, I was talking with a friend of mine who streams. Shout out to It's Franny B. Amazing streamer. He has like over 2,000 followers. Normally has like 40 to 50 people watching him on average. Great guy. Glad to have made friends with him because he's kind of helped me reboot my streaming career, even though it's not EtoInteract, but still. And
he took my place in E's life.
Yes. And I told him, oh, I'm going to be meeting up with a very good friend of mine, Miles, and we're going to be trying to like put some life back into a podcast that we used to do. And he went, man, I would love to do a podcast, but I just know it just wouldn't be any good. I was like, okay, who cares? One, people love it when you stream. And I'm pretty sure like when you started streaming, it probably wasn't any good compared to now. And he's like, oh, all my streams are like scuffed and no good. It's like, yeah, you can try to turn this into a joke, bud. But here's the thing. Even if your streams now like aren't what you were hoping, they are night and day different than how you started. And that's how a podcast is going to be. You're going to throw something out there and you might see that it's going to get like 10 downloads at the most. And then you're going to be hurt and be like, oh, well, now I don't want to do this. Every reasonable human being that's not paying to have bots up their numbers is going to deal with these numbers. Miles, when he started YouTube, I can almost guarantee his very first video wasn't a humongous outright success. And
0 views in the first 20, actually 0 views in the first like month and a half.
And when EtoInteract started, it was a blog. It was a writing blog. I reviewed like games and movies that I was watching. My first like 5 articles at most had like 1 view, and I'm pretty sure it was like a bot to put in like a link in the comments to try to advertise something.
Yeah, I mean, this whole idea that you have to come out and be good right away. Take whatever feelings you have about Mr. Beast away. His first video did not go viral. His second video did not go viral. It took a long time for Jimmy to figure out the YouTube algorithm and the YouTube methodology. And for better or worse, he's cracked it.
Yep.
Like, say what you will about the guy. He's cracked the algorithm. He knows how to take a nothing burger and make it into an empire. But he didn't start that way. The first few Smosh videos did not go viral. It wasn't really until, I guess, the Pokemon video that they really caught any steam.
Yeah, it took them a long while, but they were doing it for fun, and then it gained traction. And I think people have this thing in their head, if it's not immediately successful, why bother doing it? It's like, you need to gain traction. You can't throw something out there and immediately expect fame and fortune. It's going to have to build. Your first stream on Twitch is not going to have 100 viewers and people are going to be throwing bits and subscription at you. You're going to have to talk to nobody in your chat for a while, and then suddenly somebody's going to randomly click on you because through whatever grace of the Twitch algorithm decided to put you on somebody's feed for whatever reason. They're like, oh, hey, you might like this channel because you just recently happened to watch somebody else stream this game. There you are, and they happen to discover you and become your first follow. It's going to just be a challenge, and people don't like that challenge. And what Miles said, just be authentic, because let's be honest, we're starting to lose the human touch. And that's the one thing that I love about creativity is the human touch. If you're somebody that feels like, no, I have to use AI for art because this is my creativity, you're creative enough to come up with these prompts. Why not be creative enough to become a writer? Like, there are some people out there that are making AI comics. There are websites out there where there are illustrators who are looking to team up with writers because they're like, hey, I have these ideas in my head for characters and how they should look, but I can't put it together on how they should interact or how they should have this world built around them. You could be that person that could come in and help them. And even if you're one of those people of like, oh, I don't think I'm creative enough to do that, you don't have to be artsy creative. There's so many different ways to be creative. Like Miles said earlier, that gentleman who had said, oh, sure, I had AI do my voiceovers and do the art and this, that, and this, but I'm the one who edited it. There's free editing software out there, and there's millions of YouTube videos. You can learn a few skills and start somewhere that way by maybe you have a friend that's a YouTuber and you offer to at least do one of their videos to be like, hey, I would like to get some practice. Can I try this out? Get your foot started somewhere, and wherever it's going to be started, it's going to be started very small. But eventually that small footstep could lead to a path that's going to be a bigger success than what you realized.
And to kind of tie everything back together with it, being authentic, unless you are like a god tier video game player or a god tier writer or artist or anything like that, what's going to set you apart from everybody else? If everyone's using AI and using the same prompts, what's going to set you apart? If you're being authentic, I'm not the best video game player in the world. I'm not the best video game player in my friend group.
But he is the best Mario player.
Okay, probably. But even outside of that, I'm authentic. You watch a Soda Rush video, you're getting me like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm having trouble with this. And then I do it. Or, you know, if I'm playing Stardew Valley, I'm taking the time to teach you while I'm playing. I'm not just like, well, I'm doing this, this, and this. Okay, moving on. I stop and say, here's why I do this. Because part of my authentic, like what I'm wanting to do with my career is I want to be an onboarding specialist and training specialist in HR. I don't want to do policy enforcement because that's kind of suck.
Yeah.
But doing onboarding and continued training and specialized training and stuff, I want everyone to be the best version of themselves they can be. Be better isn't just something I say because it was funny. Be better is a real call to action to be the best version of you can be. Every day you can wake up and be better. Every day you can wake up and be yourself. Be that person. Don't try to just run through life chasing trends or chasing money or anything like that. Be who you want to be and be better about it. All right, let's move on to that last topic because this one's probably going to be a long conversation too.
All right. So, very, very recently, we have learned that Bungie and to an extent Sony are shutting down Destiny 2 updates entirely. They are going to be doing essentially one big last update where they're going to be throwing in all these updates that people have been begging years for Destiny 2 to have. And they're essentially saying, well, here's everything you wanted. We're going to wrap up a few story beats and we're calling it good. And
with no plans for Destiny 3.
That was actually going to be the next thing I was going to bring up is Destiny 3 is not in production. Bungie in their, I forget, what did they used to call their updates? TWAD or TWIP, something like that?
It's been a while, man.
It's been a while. This week in Destiny or this week at Bungie, something like that.
I think it was this week at Destiny.
They had a post from 2 days ago that said, every end is a new beginning, where they essentially kind of tell us point blank, like, hey, we're sorry, but Destiny 2 is basically over. Destiny 3 is not going to happen. And from my understanding, there has been reports where people at Bungie had pitched time and time again to Sony, even before like the final shape was released, that they wanted to do like Destiny spin-offs and Destiny 3, and they wanted to try all these different things, and Sony just didn't want to spend the money because I guess Bungie has kind of been losing the money, from my understanding. I forget what the exact term is.
That's crazy considering the other day they had 180,000 live players. Like, it's not a dead game.
It's not. It's still very much live and thriving, but it feels like ever since Sony bought them, the only thing Bungie has done is try to gut itself in order to save money, and the more it guts itself, the more it's hurting Bungie than any of their games, really.
Destiny 2 should have ended with the final shape. That should have been the ending. It was perfect.
Yes.
It was perfect. Should have been the ending. You could have still let us play around. You could have tried to re-release some of the old content from the content vault and then started working on 3. A lot of the stuff that happened after the final shape, I think would have been better if we were decades or centuries down the road and our hero was now just a hero of legend, a lore bit. We have a new Guardian trio leading the 3 groups, and then we're into Destiny 3 territory.
Right.
You know, you've already killed off one major character. Unfortunately, we've lost the voice actor of another. I'm not hating on Keith David because I love Keith David, but it was different. But you should have wrapped the story there, let their stories end, and let's move on. Because, like, I stopped playing after the final shape. But we have a friend group that plays pretty actively, or was playing pretty actively, and they had a canon Star Wars crossover.
Yeah, which was weird. Our friend Matt was trying to explain that to me, and it just seemed really bizarre.
Yeah, I kind of tuned it out because it's not what I was playing Destiny for. Like, the Halo one at least made sense.
Yeah.
Because Bungie, you could make that one work. But, like, we had a good ending, and you all decided it wasn't time to end it yet. And I guess now we know why, was because they didn't want the production to finally die off.
Yeah.
But I mean, Destiny 2's been out for a long time. It had to end at some point. I just hate how it was just okay, bye. A deal.
It's kind of sad to me because, like, now knowing that they were trying to keep Destiny alive as a project, and after reading everything that I've seen about the decisions to shut down Destiny 2, it looks like one of the big reasons was to try to move resources over to Marathon, which is an extraction shooter, from my understanding, that's entering its second season.
It's a game I'll never play.
Yeah, I have no interest in playing it myself. I don't care for extraction shooters to begin with. And
Is
I
that
guess
what Helldivers was?
Not really. It was like a PvE extraction game, but this extraction shooter was more
exactly?
PvP.
What is an extraction shooter? I don't know that I'm familiar with this term.
So extraction shooter is essentially you are dropped in a map. You are trying to go through said map, kill other players if you happen to come across them, take as much loot as you can, find the extraction point, and leave. And sometimes there are AI enemies on said map. You might have some missions that you have to do, like collect certain resources, but it's a weird mix of PvP and PvE.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's the best way I can possibly explain it.
That's weird. Okay, if it's your game, good for you, but I have no interest in playing that game. If there was a good update to Destiny, I would have come back to Destiny. But
oh, yeah. In a heartbeat.
I'll probably check this one out in June with the boys, because our friend group kind of came together over Destiny. Like, our group is called the Original Guardians for a reason. Like, Matman's server exists because of Destiny.
Yes.
And dear Lord, I did not expect that thing to blow up that much when he made it.
Very surprisingly, that kind of became the public Discord for a lot of things.
It was, well, because we lost Ascension.
Yes.
Just, we lost Ascension, so we had to go somewhere. But no, it's crazy to me that this, you just look at Bungie and you look at Halo 1, 2, 3. They were there all the way through ODST, right? Yeah, they were there through ODST.
Yes.
I don't think they did 4. I think that's when 343 or whatever took over.
Yes.
But like, you look at that, you look at Destiny 1 and 2, and Bungie knew how to make some games. But what part of that team still exists? And I feel bad for the ones that are still there, because I'm not saying they're not good at it, but like, you probably had some of the best video game shooter minds working on these games, it sounds like. And when you don't have support from your top, what are you going to do?
And it's kind of funny that you're asking, like, how many people are left in this, because there's roughly 800 people in the company right now. But as of 2 days ago, they announced that there's going to be significant layoffs.
So let's just keep tearing down everything and then wonder why your fan base disappears.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? McDonald's now is making most stores where you can't be in there as an unaccompanied minor, or they have like a 15-minute time limit for your eating your food and get out. And then they wonder why people are going to Burger King. I was looking at a fast food subreddit, and one of the Burger King employees was like, I can't understand why so many people are coming to us. And then they saw the post about McDonald's, like, oh, that's why. And Wendy's is doing the same crap. Wendy's who would have thought that getting rid of leaf lettuce would have changed so much of their menu? But Wendy's has been horrible lately, and that used to be my go-to. Probably good if I lose a go-to, but
right.
But still, like, we look at these companies, or these companies look at us and wonder why things are getting worse, not better. You're providing less for more. Like, we're getting less from you for more money. It's wild to me. It's wild. And the bubble's going to burst. It's going to burst hard.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a lot of companies that we lose in the next 10 years, and they won't be able to figure out why they're gone.
And speaking of companies not figuring out what to do, my question is like, with all these things that have been happening with Bungie, how much is Sony going to really trust Bungie on any projects? Are they going to slowly let Bungie dissolve themselves? Are they going to try to make Bungie become one of those little small subsidiary game developers that like go in and help the other bigger companies make their games? Or are they just going to completely be like, nope, you're shut down?
It's weird to think this way, but is Bungie heading to be the same size of Toys for Bob or something like that? And like, I mean, of the giants, you know, a lot of the Japanese giants are still there. Capcom, Konami, Bandai Namco, all of them are still there because if nothing else, they'll always have the Nintendo backing. You'll never see them completely fall off. But like some of the American-made ones, is Naughty Dog still doing anything?
I know the last thing they really did was Uncharted and then The Last of Us 2, but they've been kind of quiet.
Insomnia's dissolved, aren't they?
They might be. Yeah, I haven't really ever heard anything of Insomnia in a long time. I know Sucker Punch is doing the Ghost of games, so they're still around.
And someone else took over. Toys for Bob took over Crash and Spyro, didn't they?
They did, yes.
Rare? I don't think Rare is a thing. I think Rare was Japanese, but still, Rare might have been. I don't know. Either way,
I think Rare was British.
Yeah, but we're losing a lot of these studios, big and small, and it's going to lead to a new indie revolution. We're about to have a new indie surge, I think, because these guys have the knowledge and they're going to go do something. So I think we're about to see a lot of indie games hitting the market, which for me is exciting.
Like I love indie games, and I'll even be the first one to say that like I'm not going in with absolute glowing expectations of an indie game to be like the new hit, the next game of the year or whatever. I'm going in knowing that it was definitely made by a very small team. And I'm still going to at least hold them to the standard of, am I enjoying what I'm playing? Because ultimately, that's what's going to make a good or bad game for me. Am I having fun? And
so, I'm playing lately. I don't know how big they are. But I've been playing Incombini. One store, many stories. It's available on Steam. I've been playing it on Switch too, and it's a grocery sim type game, but it's story driven.
okay.
So it's amazing. Nagai Industries is the creator, and looking to see if I have their company size is 2 to 10 employees. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Give me more. Give me more games like this. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's amazing. I'll probably be streaming it soon. It's gorgeous. And it's really short, but it's replayable because there's multiple endings. But yeah, it is like a Japanese game that is super Japanese, unapologetically Japanese. And Konbini is a convenience store in Japanese.
Okay.
Like it is super, super, and it's. I'll have to show it to you sometime. But if you can find it online, especially if you see it on sale, get it. But it's an indie game. 2 to 10 employees. There's no way that you can argue that's not indie. But like, I'm going that way on more of my games. That's not to say I'm not going to sit down and play Pokemon. But like, Hollow Knight, Stardew, Incombini, Monster Sanctuary, Moonstone Island, Cassette Beast. These games have, we've been saying authentic, they're super authentic and they have a small team developing a small, I don't want to say small story, but a coherent story, a coherent passion. And that's not to say all indie games are great, because they're not at all. But like indie gaming might be what we see in the future, more and more and more. And I know you're not big on the Nintendo right now, but Nintendo Switch is going to be a big thing carrying that forward because they have embraced the indie gaming on their handheld console. And Steam, of course, because Steam just can't stop winning. Steam wins, even if everyone else loses, Steam wins.
I detect no lies in that statement because I feel like Steam can sneeze and somehow make money out of it.
And we'll praise them for it.
Yep.
We will praise them for sneezing. Like, everyone else is going down Route A, and Steam's like, we're going to go back a new path down B or C or D. If one of those doesn't work, we'll figure it out.
Like, yeah, even if we don't like the path that we're going down, we'll find some other way. It's a journey.
And Steam just keeps making better calls that I hope the others follow up on. I'm excited the new Microsoft CEO, the new Xbox CEO is like, hey, we're going to make a console again. Because, and didn't they lower the Game Pass back down a little bit?
They did, yes. She's been doing a really good job at saving Xbox's reputation as of late. Because
I canceled my Xbox Game Pass when they raised that price. I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten it back yet. That's why I wasn't sure if the price went down, but they keep making some good moves. I'll look at Xbox again. I still have no desire for a PS5, especially with the price increase.
Oh, yeah.
What am I going to play on it?
Probably not much, let's be honest.
I don't know if there's any... Let's see. What are PS5 exclusives besides Astro Boy? And even that's not enough to make me... Even with my, passion for platforming... Marvel Spider-Man 2, Astro Boy, do like platformers, but that's not enough to sell me on a console. Demon Souls.
I mean,
Returnal,
Demon Souls is alright.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I wasn't a huge Ratchet and Clank fan to begin with. I don't hate them, but... And then Ghost of Yotei.
Which I've heard is good.
But none of these are games that are going to make me buy the console.
Right.
I know for some people this wasn't a selling point. There was a 0% chance I wasn't going to buy a Switch 2. There was a 0% chance. Let's just all be open and honest about that. But for me, and not for E, because E, this is not game sellers for him. But for me, Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza were selling points for me. And I love both of them. And I don't regret that decision at all. And all the upgrades I've gotten on there, for me, it's been great. For E, it wouldn't have been worth it to get the Switch 2. And I can say that. But for me, it was. But I don't think there's been that big... Somehow, Pacopia seems like it's going to be the console seller for the Switch 2 right now, which is... I loved it. I can't say I didn't love it. But, I'm still waiting for that big game that gets everybody excited to start seeing those sales really happening.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a new Smash or a new Zelda or a new Mario. It's one of those three. Because as much as people love Pokemon, I don't think a Pokemon... ZA wasn't the console seller, and I don't think Winds and Waves will be either. I think it'll be a new Mario, a new Zelda, or a new Smash.
Because I think that's kind of what it was for the Switch. Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild were really the things that made people go, oh, okay, I'll get a Switch.
I didn't get a Switch until Smash was announced, Smash Ultimate. I held off that. I wasn't going to get a Switch, which is funny because it ended up being my all-time favorite console, but I wasn't going to get a Switch at all. I had no interest because I had Breath of the Wild and the Wii U, and, I still had Mario Maker on the Wii U because I'm one of those weirdos that enjoyed his Wii U. I loved it. I liked the Wii U. I thought it was great. It's kind of like the Dreamcast to me, where it's one of those deals of better marketing would have made it go better.
Oh, 100%.
Because the console itself wasn't bad.
It wasn't. I think a lot of people did like the gimmick of like the screen as the controller. It was just, I don't think a lot of people implemented that well.
Well, that and like your average consumer sees that and they think, oh, I can just buy the controller. I don't need to buy the console, because it wasn't clear it was a new console at first. Like, at least with the Switch 2, it's like, oh, clearly that is the new Switch.
Right.
It's a boring name, but at least it's, I still wish we'd gotten the Revolution for the Wii. I will always want the Wii to be the Revolution. So disappointing. But yeah, like, gaming's got to turn a corner at some point. You have studios just shutting down games. You have studios ripping people off through their deceptive practices, either through Kickstarters or through the license agreements. I kind of just want gaming to be fun again, and that's where I really want these indie studios to take control. Like, I've had more fun playing indie games in the past few months than I've had playing any of the AAA titles, even a lot of AA titles. I'm telling you, Incombini, I don't think I've been gripped by a game this way in a while, where it was like just so beautiful. So check out your local indie games. I hope everyone gets that reference, because how we used to tell people to check out your local comic book shop. But sorry, that one didn't hit, but we're getting back in the groove. Okay,
you got to give us time to warm back up.
I haven't even been streaming. At least he's been streaming, sorta. People haven't been seeing that handsome face.
I would say the face isn't there, but the personality still is.
Very much so. All right, so I think we need to wrap this one up, because we are, 2 hours in?
I think about 2 hours in, yeah.
Hour and 40 minutes. I'll take it for a return episode.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for me specifically, you can find me MilesG170 on pretty much every platform except for Twitter, and I guess it's just Twitter.
Yeah.
I won't call it X. It's Twitter. But yeah, MilesG170. If you need to reach me, MilesG170gaming@gmail.com. You tell them where all they can find you, because I don't know what you're willing to throw out there yet.
I guess for right now, you can find me in the chats of anything MilesG170 related, and here at Joysticks United.
All right, so we're going to head on out. We hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I am not going to say my normal outro, because that is not Joysticks anymore. We were toying with the idea of saying millennial gamers in a Gen Z world, but we're going to workshop a new outro. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your week.
#be better.